Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're lacing up our skates, not me, for a fun time at Owasso. And later in the show, history is on sale. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
We have been here, there, and everywhere.
We have.
And it shows. Finally, the fruits of our labor. Well, I mean, literally, figuratively, over the weekend, spent some time with a lot of fruits to the tune of 50,000 watermelons. Pounds. 50,000 pounds of watermelons.
Was it 50? I don't know if it was 50,000 watermelons or... I didn't count them, but there were a lot of watermelons there.
So they have a station there that's called... They call it the Watermelon Cut, okay? I know it sounds like, you know, you go and see if your name's on the board and see if you made the cut.
Made the watermelon team.
So that there's I think it's a cinder block building. Inside this building, now if you look closely, there are little portholes that are big enough to fit a pretty good sized watermelon. Inside this building, I was given permission by my cousin Jennifer Burks. She's one of the head honchos out there with the Rush Springs Watermelon Fest. And I was given exclusive access. It's filled with watermelons and junior high kids that feed these watermelons through the hole. That's their only job. Lift watermelons, feed them through the hole so they can come through, cut them open, and serve them to the masses.
So like a watermelon guillotine?
Basically. You're the death dealer if you're one of those
watermelons?
kids for watermelons. And then there's the executioners. But let me tell you something, and it's in the video. $3 for a piece of watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
That's like, I don't know.
The size of a baby.
That's the size of
a toddler.
A quarter of a... No, I don't want to say that. It's the size of a toddler. I was going to say it's the size of a quarter of a baby, but that's too
We were talking about
graphic.
Some King Solomon watermelons.
Right.
Yeah.
While we're talking about executioners and whatnot. But... It's a well-oiled machine.
A whale-oiled machine?
A whale-oiled machine. I don't know what the numbers are, people-wise, but I know...
I asked. I haven't got a response yet back from the organizers, but I was curious to see because it was already going first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And the weather and the rain, like the rain was just enough to say... Hey, it's a cool, nice day. Have some watermelon.
Down. There was a point where I was like,
it was starting to get hot.
Well, I was underdressed probably for the first couple hours because once things kind of started to pick up, it was kind of chilly. It felt like it was finally what it should feel like, hopefully in another month. But we'll have to see about that. But yeah, I don't know the numbers. The rain didn't seem to put a dent in the attendance because let's be realistic. If I drive all the way to Rush Springs,
a little bit of rain
it ain't doing it. And not to mention, it's not 98 degrees at 8 in the morning.
No, it was a perfect day for it. So I'm hoping the numbers look great this year.
But what I'm not doing, I'm not getting up at the crack of dawn to run a 5K, a 10K.
Those people are dedicated, dude. I tell you what, we saw the front of the line showing up at the finish line.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, and I was like, those people are like they're made out of different stuff than me and you.
I'm not running a 10K just to get free watermelon. I'll pay my $3 and get a bigger piece and not collapse. I don't know. That something I don't do. I wish I was a runner. I can run if need be.
When I was a kid, I could run flat out for 45 minutes straight and come home and, like tear through an entire watermelon all by myself. Now I'm a little bit older and...
You know what we've never talked about?
What?
Roller skating.
Well, we're talking about roller skating today.
I can't skate.
I can't either.
And I can't... The two things that kids we grew up with, in the simpler time where everybody went skating, everybody went bowling. You know what I mean? The things that are kind of the last stand of fun now, when it was commonplace, we're going to the roller rink, we're going to bowling, I'm not great at those.
I was a skateboarder. I wasn't a roller skater, and I was never able to really pick it up. Like I could do it, but I always looked like I was about to fall down.
there were, and we can't say it, but if you could skate, you were considered a wuss. If you couldn't skate, you were considered a wood. Like it was one of those things where you can't. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. But I've been roller skating 2 times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I did a crash course, literally and figuratively, the night before the last time I ever did it was in the early 90s. And I remember going to Yukon on Wheels in Yukon, Oklahoma, because that's where, hey, when you come over, spend the night, because it was always, you go spend the night, you'd always go do, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You might, if you had a little money, we're going to the skating rink. Bring your skates. I don't own skates. Had to rent skates, and I literally held on
to the railing.
It's just, I'm terrible at it.
Well, there is a place. It reminds me a lot of it gives me ShowBiz Pizza vibes.
Don't do it.
What?
There's only one. There's only one ShowBiz Pizza.
ShowBiz is out of business, but
it is out of
Wheels and Thrills in Owasso. 26,000 square foot skating arena.
I can't.
What?
That's a lot of square feet for me to land on my face.
It's got the
hardwood
maple skating rink.
Of course it does.
It's got the cool lights. And again, looking at the pictures and that sort of stuff, it gives me ShowBiz vibes. And I don't know about you, but me growing up,
yeah,
ShowBiz was like the pinnacle. It was the top of the mountain.
Well, here's the thing. And we both grew up this way, but I'm sharing my experience. I grew up poor. If you were lucky enough, I had kind of a sad childhood. If you were lucky enough to get invited to a ShowBiz pizza party, you went. Because most of the time, if you went, it included tokens, and you got pizza, and your parents drank beer. You know what I mean? You remember when you could go to like Pizza Hut and your parents drank beer while you played video games?
Yes.
I rarely got to go to any ShowBiz pizza party. I was never picked last on kickball, but I was picked last at birthday parties.
Okay, so here's the thing.
What?
You started off the show
Sad
with
sack?
the saddest story ever. I'm going to take you to Wheels and Thrills in Owasso.
No.
I'm going to give you a pocket full of quarters. They don't just have skating. So
you said 26,000 square foot roller rink.
It's 150 foot by 75 foot roller rink. The entire facility is 26,000 square feet.
You had me thinking it was a 26,000 square foot skating rink.
They've got the cool lighting on the skate area. You know, the strobe lights and the spotlights and all that cool sound system. You can rollerblade, you can roller skate, but you don't have to do any of that. They also have a laser tag arena.
Okay.
I need you to look at the pictures.
Okay, I'll look.
They have this laser tag arena. It looks like the inside of a spaceship.
Dude.
The laser tag arena is cool, but here's the part for me and you.
The blacklight birthday party?
No.
Yeah.
The interactive arcade.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have all of the games that we had from our childhood, but they have a bunch of games. You can earn points, which are redeemable at the arcade stuff shop for cool prizes, just like when you were a little kid.
Do you know how hard it is to watch a kid that's 30 years younger than you roller skate? Better than I could ever imagine.
So,
I'm stuck on this.
Okay, this is going to be one of those shows where it should be a really fun and exciting show, but
it's just sad.
It's just sad. So, my daughter's grandfather passed away a couple of weeks back.
Oh, you weren't kidding. It is going to be sad.
I'm not joking.
I know you're not.
He was 95 years old. We have video of him within the last decade of him learning how to roller skate, and he would wipe the floor with either one of us in his 80s.
That's not any question about that. If we lived to 95, our bodies will be different.
Dude, I'm going to need those levitating old people chairs from Wall-E.
Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking, dude.
Or I'm going to need one of those robot exosuits.
I'm going to need one of those walkers that they give kids that are learning how to skate. Have you seen them?
No, but I need one.
It's kind of a walker, and you kind of just across the floor. See, the thing is, skating is competitive. To me, if there is a skill level to achieve, it's a competition. If I'm not as good as that, it doesn't matter what it is. If there's a maximum level to achieve in something, I don't remember when Angry Birds. What was the one where you go and you had to make sure it went through the pipe.
I don't remember. Flappy Bird?
Flappy Bird.
Was that it?
Yes.
Oh.
You guys turned me on to that. And I was addicted. That and Angry Birds. Like, if there's a maximum level, I want to be able to achieve it. I can't watch children do something I can't do. How do I teach my kids to skate?
You don't. So as far as, speaking of your kids.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything else about skating.
They do have a 20-foot tall soft playground, indoor playground.
They would love it.
Your kids would love it. They also, and I think this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They do a great job. You can just check out their website and look at the
I'm looking
the
now.
pictures.
That's why I keep feeling bad about not being able to skate.
They do special themed nights. So
Okay.
they'll do like a Disney night or superhero day, Star Wars, where people come dressed up.
Yeah.
Thematically, they change the whole place.
Yeah.
I think your kids would love something like that.
Now, this is what I will say.
Go ahead.
You talk about ShowBiz. We went recently to Chuck E. Cheese. And I'm not trying to give them any publicity. And hopefully in the outtakes you'll hear my honest opinion. But Chuck E. Cheese to ShowBiz is what Yoko Ono was to the Beatles. You hear it in the commercial.
Hey, it's your pal Chucky with a new name and a new no more band. It's just me, guys.
Here's the thing. It took my kids. We got invited to do a thing because a friend of ours wanted to do something for Mason for his birthday. So we went up to Chuck E. Cheese the other night. They had an okay time, but it's mostly video games and kind of interactive stuff like that. Not a lot of bouncing. You give them a soft play area where they can jump and climb and they've got a really good one in Mustang. But if you give me something like this, my kids will be gone all night. They love it.
So they have a lot of stuff geared specifically for the kids.
Yeah.
They have birthday packages, which I think a lot of... Again, when we were growing up, dude, going to a Chuck E. Cheese or a...
Quit saying Chuck E. Cheese, it was ShowBiz.
If we went going to a ShowBiz birthday party was...
And if you got invited to one...
Dude, it was
like
next level.
It was like being invited to...
It's like having an Amex black card.
Right. It's like, look what I got. You know, like you're sliding your ShowBiz Pizza imitation across the floor going, you're a loser, dude.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think this is a real competitor to what ShowBiz was.
Except...
Go ahead. No animatronic.
The band, bro. I mean, the band was everything.
The band...
Here's the thing.
No,
go ahead.
I disagree with you. The band was creepy as hell.
Yeah, but they didn't come off the stage and like, how you doing, buddy? When Chuck E. Cheese came out the other night, Tara says to me, will you take Mason over to Chuck E. Cheese? I was like, nope. I don't do mascots. I would be one, which is weird. I don't mind wearing the suit if I had a chance to do it, but I have no desire. The only time I ever went, oh my God, it's that, is when I was on a Disney cruise and Mickey came out. Because everybody on the cruise ship was going, where's Mickey? When's Mickey going to come out? When I saw Goofy, my fave, I was like, gosh. I was literally like, I can't believe I'm here. I was so excited.
Right.
But Chuck E. Cheese, I can't. I can't be near him. He ruined my childhood. And the childhood I never got to have anyway, but he still ruined it.
So they do have lots of
stuff going on.
They do, but they have group events, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, for sports teams, you softball team or whatever that you want to treat, youth groups, that sort of thing, I think is a great idea. They have an on-site restaurant called the Food Factory. They do pizzas, burgers, corn dogs. They have a full menu.
Uh-huh.
But they also have some adult beverages available.
Well, they got to.
They do mixed drinks and everything.
Listen, if you take your kids to something like this, you got to do something to numb. You got to be numb a little, right?
It
Designated
can
driver.
be a little much sometimes, but I don't know if numb is the word I would use. Just loosened up to where you actually enjoy, playing arcade games or falling down in the
Well,
screen.
and here's the thing. If you're going to fall down on your face, make sure it's in the padded play area. We are not in any way endorsing drinking and driving.
Absolutely
Please
not.
be responsible.
Yes.
And buckle up.
And if you're the designated driver, you're just going to have to suck it up and drink Coke.
Right.
Eat your corn dog.
Not Coke with Crown or whatever, bourbon, whatever your favorite toddy is. Don't watch your tots with a toddy. That's what I'm telling you.
I agree with that. But dude, price-wise, it's not bad at all. But they have like special events, like they have something called Thrifty Night.
Yeah, man.
$3 to skate or $2 for a skate rental. More importantly, $10 for unlimited wristband. Gives you unlimited everything.
That's killer, man.
For $10 for, what is that, 4 hours long.
I will drive to Owasso for a $10 unlimited band.
Dude, I remember going to the movie theater as a kid. My grandma would drop me off with a $5 bill.
Oh, you could kill it with a $5 bill,
and
man.
she'd come back and pick me up 12 hours later.
And you had still had money?
So, the fact that you could take your kid with a $10 bill and they just have a blast.
Now, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Let's be fair. We're not allowed to go compare our parents and grandparents dropping us off for 12 hours with little or no communication and hoping we meet the rendezvous time before we get left behind. It's a different generation.
Oh, it's a totally different generation.
Like, I walked 5 miles to watch Hard Target in the movie theater 5 times in one weekend on a $20 bill.
Yeah, you give your kid a $20 bill to go here, and they've got 4 hours of unlimited games and $10 to spend on food. You're going to get a text message 15 minutes
I'm
in.
out of money.
Cash at me. Cash at me.
Listen. Can you imagine if we would have had like Venmo or Cash App? We wouldn't have had it.
No.
Kids there's no way. This is what you get. Just to tell you how much money's worth. I've had a $1 bill in the floor, and this tells you how organized I am. I have a $1 bill in the floorboard of my car. Because what can I do with a $1 bill? Nothing. But a $10 bill? Unlimited access? Hello, to Wheels and Thrills? With the $10 bills? Hell yeah.
I guess it's been, is that right?
I thought you were going to
35 years.
Since?
35 years ago, I first got a $20 bill.
You thought you were something else.
Dude, I thought that I could have bought like the Library of Congress and like set up shop there.
Do you remember
I'm loaded?
Do you remember how much damage you could do? Dude.
Yeah.
You could have, and literally, if you could have gotten somebody to buy it for you, you had access to anything in a store for $20.
At the time, like, they didn't care. You could be like 5 years old. I need a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of bourbon for my mom.
That's the thing. Guys like us had a regular store that they would only sell us cigarettes because they'd go up and go. You put them on the counter. They're like, then they just hand you the cigarettes. They knew what kind of smokes your parents smoked.
Yep.
They knew, man, I miss buying cigarettes for my parents, man.
Okay, can we not talk about this?
Yeah, we can. We cannot.
Okay, we need to get
It's
out.
still fun. We can still leave it in there. It's not hurting anything. It's a generational thing. But yeah, Wheels and Thrills in Owasso, if you're, I'm one of those people, whether I'm passing through or not, it's kind of like when we go eat something. If it's something fun, exciting, or tastes good, I'll drive.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I got zero issues with driving up there on a Tuesday night, on a school night, if I ain't got nothing going on Wednesday, except recording.
Well, they're on North Garnett Road in Owasso, Oklahoma. Wheelsandthrills.com.
Whales and Thrills.
Or Whales and Thrills.
Whales and Thrills.
We'll include a link in the show notes. But after the break, get you a buy two, get one, and get the original free. The original 2 free as well.
You're going to have to explain that one.
Today's show is brought to you by Friends of Nicomapark.
That's right.
They are a local nonprofit working to raise funds for a community park project in Nicomapark.
Now, it's super simple. People are always asking, how can I help? How can I help? You yourself can be a sponsor and help build this park. Now, you need to go to the website and check this thing out because it looks like a miniature. What would you call that? Like a miniature Central Park?
Dude, they're taking this undeveloped 60-plus acre area and turning it into a community park by adding soccer fields for the local soccer club, a walking trail, splash park, dog park, pavilions, and a place to hold large festivals there in Nicoma Park. I think it's a great idea. They've been hosting a ton of activities throughout the community to raise money for this. They've done like trunk and treats, Christmas tree lighting ceremonies.
For sure.
But one of our favorites is coming up and it's their biggest event of the year.
That's right. It's going to be the Bites of EOC, and they're going to let you taste what Eastern Oklahoma County has to offer. And if you haven't eaten anything in Nicomapark or around there, you have to be at this event. It's coming up October the 6th. From 2 to 4 p.m., it's going to be at the Cobblestone Wedding Chapel and Event Center, right there in Nicomapark off of West Myers Circle. $10 sample from all the food that you want. It's sponsored by Friends of Nicomapark. All of the money, all the proceeds goes right back in to building the park.
If you want to reach out and see what you can do outside of that event, we'll include a link in the show notes to their website, but you can find them on Facebook, Friends of Nicomapark.
Do your part with Nicomapark.
So the Owasso Historical Museum was built in 1928 as a grocery store.
Really?
Dude, it's been more than a few different businesses throughout the years, and I'm sure it's got a ton of stories to tell. But currently it has 6 exhibit rooms featuring artifacts from the local history along with periodic art display and special events. But how many times do you run across a museum that was the local Piggly Wiggly 100 years ago?
It's rare. You see a lot of old train stations, bank buildings, things like that get converted, but it's rarely ever the grocery store. In our neck of the woods, they turn an old grocery store into a dispensary.
Most of the time, though, I will give them credit. The city of Owasso, whoever built this grocery store in 1928, they did a good job. It looks like a solid brick building, whereas most of the time when you talk about grocery stores, general stores, even convenience stores today, they're made cheap. They're made out of cheap wood. They're made out of cheap metal. They're thrown up quick because, honestly, they're going to get replaced soon.
Yeah, they're going to
anyway.
get replaced, right.
Even Walmart does it.
Well, do we have to talk about them?
I'm not a fan, but I'm just saying they build cheap.
They do build cheap.
And it just turns out that the grocery store had some real staying power in Owasso.
I think at the end of this whole thing that we call this phase of the earth, that buildings like that will still be standing, and Walmarts and modern homes will be piles of rubble and ash. They're just built different.
They are.
You go to places like Owasso, you go to places like Medicine Park and go, they turned a 150-year-old house into a cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Who'd have thought?
So the Owasso Historical Museum, though, admission is free.
Yeah.
They do accept donations. They have tours available for larger groups by appointment. But, dude, if you're interested in the history and heritage of the area, great place to visit. Or if you just want to help keep this type of activity, this type of preservation going, definitely go. Check them out. Leave a couple of bucks.
Leave a couple bucks before you go spend $10 at, Wheels and Thrills. Help the community. It's your community. Or it's not your community. Help. That's how these things work, everyone. We talk about, I'm not paying that for that. I ain't doing that for that. That costs too much. Here's the thing. It may cost you a lot, but the people that are providing it costs them a lot more.
Yeah, and again, like I said, this is free. This is a freebie.
But you can still drop a $5 in the bucket.
Absolutely. We'll include a link in the show notes for the Owasso Historical Museum. But if you're in the area, check them out.
And if they have a guest book, sign it and tell them we sent you there, because we need all the feedback we can get.
Absolutely, we do have some feedback. Mad Dog 45.
Oh,
in reference to our Burgers and Fry episode in Ardmore, Oklahoma, they had a few comments.
Really?
They didn't say anything negative about burgers and fries, but Mad Dog did say the best hamburgers in Ardmore is the opposite way on Washington towards downtown. It's called Hamburger Inn. I think this is probably... Hamburger Inn has been mentioned to us a few times.
Yeah.
Here's the issue, though, and Mad Dog pointed it out. They're only open a few hours a day, but they're definitely the best. It's the only open a few hours a day that makes it hard for us. Dude, I summer in Ardmore, and I've never been to Hamburger Inn because I've never found it open.
Yeah, and that's the problem with a lot of these little mom and pop burger joints and restaurants is they keep weird hours. Like you have to be there at 10 a.m. and be there until 2, or you're out of luck. And some of these places aren't even open on the weekends, which to me is kind of wild.
I agree, but I think a lot of that's the old guard. Like the people who I've been doing this way since 1928, and I'm not changing now, kind of thing, which makes sense to a degree.
Yeah,
but I think if you are in that business, like you've got to figure out a way to get the travel and tourism side of it
to get it involved somehow.
People are going to come, your regulars are going to come and have their burgers,
right?
And they know when you're open, and it's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, if you don't have a little bit of that weekend time in there,
yeah,
I feel like you're missing out.
You're missing out.
Especially now, especially with the state the way it is now.
Uh-huh.
So many people traveling around, coming to Oklahoma just to check things out.
Well, there's a lot of people that literally travel to eat.
And there's a lot of people like Brett who will eat at any place that he can, but they have to be open when he drives by.
Well, and speaking of that, I did get a little bit of feedback from Carla. It's funny, I was walking around the Rush Springs Watermelon Festival, and I'm headed to the watermelon stand or something, and I get stopped by Carla. Hey, you're the guy from TikTok. I'm like, yes, we talked for a little bit. And she had this to say. She goes, I think you do a good job checking out the food places in OKC. I also think it's okay to like everything you try. We have good eats here. I hope you continue to give your reviews on food here. You're so outgoing and friendly, which makes it easy to watch you. Hope you have an awesome day. I look forward to your next podcast or video. And she goes on to say, I listened to the podcast about Cushing, the Cushing Festival, and will be tuning in on a regular basis for that. Thanks, and have a good one. Well, thank you, Carla, for reaching out. And again, the best way for us to filter your feedback. We love hearing from you on YouTube. We love hearing from you on Rumble. We love hearing from you on TikTok. But a lot of times, we're getting bigger. Can we just say it? Can we stop being modest about it? We're getting bigger. It's harder to kind of filter through. And, it's like I'm going through comments going, liking as many as I can and trying to comment on the ones that don't hurt my feelings as much as I can. But if you really want to get involved, keep doing what you're doing, or email us at the OnlyinOKShow.
Definitely email us, OnlyinOKShow@gmail.com. More importantly, though, I think when you're out and about, if you're trying one of these places, if you're going somewhere on a suggestion from us,
tell them.
Tell them the OnlyinOKShow sent you. If they have a sign-in book, put it in there. If they don't, tell them. Because it makes a huge difference. We get a completely different reception.
Yeah, we do.
When we go into the places where people have where people have told the owners. We go into DeCentio's.
Uh-huh.
Those guys love us.
Oh yeah, they
because
love us.
They know, because people have told them. We had guys come in and buy everything on the menu.
Yeah.
Or we had people come in and say they heard about us on the show.
I'm willing to bet that Huey's Eats in Blanchard sees the impact. I'm willing to bet Chuck Steaks in Midwest City sees the impact, because I do get when I can look at them, a lot of people going, I'm going there because of you. I'm coming to Oklahoma because you said to do this.
Yeah.
So it's out there. Spread the word. You're the street team. We're the eat team. And this has been the OnlyinOK Show. New episodes every week. New content all the time. Sinus infections, be damned. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace. Somebody said it's native Oklahoman, not Okie, because Okie is during the Depression I didn't know this, and he didn't point it out, but Okie is a nickname for a resident of Oklahoma. It's also a derogatory in the Depression for.
Well, good thing we're not in the Depression,
right?
Like there are literally brands
that say Okie on it.
That are Okie. There's literally Okie brand is a company.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boycott them.
Yeah.
What were we going to say? Oh.
Yeah, Okie, ethnic group in the United States, originally usually disparaging slang term referring to Oklahoma. Yes, and we took it and
embraced
said...
it. The Okie hat's $25. Okay.
Yeah.
The term is Oklahoma native.
Yeah.
Okay.
The term came to refer to very poor migrants from Oklahoma coming to look for employment in California. Okay. And who's been moving to Oklahoma in hordes? Yeah, I'm sorry though. When you talk about Woody Guthrie referring to himself as an Okie and being proud of it,
yeah,
like you can find negatives on every single word in any language that you want. So you either embrace it as a good thing, or you bitch and moan about everybody. Like, I don't have time for the bitching and moaning.
3, 2, 1.